Good afternoon, students. Let's continue from this topic, the difference engine developed by Charles Babbage. Last session, we have discussed about the different machines developed by a scientist Leonardo da Vinci, who developed his first mechanical calculator, which was recognized in his book, and then lots of scientists they developed binary codes and many more. Then abacus, Napier bones, logarithm, slide rule, then Pascaline, and then it is clear that after a long period difference engine was developed by Charles Babbage. What is the special behind this? Charles Babbage, a British mathematician, is called the father of computer. His invention is the difference engine. Was sophisticated, specialized, and calculating machine. The difference engine consists of two major parts: the calculating mechanism and the printing mechanism, and controlling mechanism. So there are two main parts: the calculating and printing mechanism and control mechanism. The machine was able to calculate polynomials. It was a huge step forward in different calculating devices. So in the development of different calculating devices, we use that mechanism. Analytical engine also developed by Charles Babbage. Babbage began to think about building a improved calculating machines in calculating engine after the difference engine between 1833 and 1842. He tried to build a machine that could be programmed and could do any kind of calculation. This new machine was called the analytical engine. It was designed to calculate the numerical value or values of any formula following the ordinary rules of arithmetic and print the result. It was world's first general purpose computer. That's why Charles Babbage is known as father of computer, because he developed analytical engine as well as difference engine. Now after the development, he think that we need to improve our machines, so he decided to develop difference engine 2, just like Robot 2.0 movie, that he developed a different version of difference engine. So in the year 1847, Charles Babbage started working on improving the design of analytical engine, which was to be called the difference engine 2. He passed away before completing it. It means the scientist Charles Babbage, he devoted his whole life to invent a computer that can think, that can do multiple tasks, logical, that can take logical decisions at the same of the earlier difference engine. He want to develop a new machine that is more advanced. Now what are the generation of computer? Generation. A generation in computer terminology refers to the change in technology of computer's processing unit. So first, student, we should know what is generation. When a particular time period went in a particular some conditions, when technology change, and if the technology changes in main processing mechanism, it becomes generation. Means a generation in computer terminology refers to the change in the technology of the computer's processing unit. Means the main focus is given to the processing unit. When we change the technology to use that is used in processing unit, it will change the generation. So nowadays we have to understand clearly that we are going through the era of fifth generations of computer. First generation of computer use of vacuum tubes. Here it is written students, you should know that when it was not new to human, a computer system when it was new to human, it was big in size, it was not easy to operate. That time out of the city, only one or two students or one or two persons are able to operate computer. So that time we use vacuum tubes instead of microchips. So the first generation computer used vacuum tubes for circuitry and magnetic drums for memory, which were often enormous and took up entire room. Means students, you have to clear attention here. You have to give attention here. Clear give You have to give clear attention that in first generation computer their size are bigger than the normal computer. Means they are enormous and took up a entire room. Vacuum tube was invented by John Ambrose Fleming in 1904. The first vacuum tube or diode was known as Canotron. Please underline this word. They were very expensive to operate. First generation computer relied on machine language to perform operation. They could solve only one problem at a time. Machine language comprises only two characters, 0 or 1. So students, you have to understand, in machine language there are only two characters, 0 or 1, for input and output. Input was given by punch card and paper tape, and output was displayed on printouts. So students, in first generation computer, the size of the computer are very big, and they are big in size. They generate lots of heat. They are costly. They are expensive. There are lots of complications regarding that. So a common man cannot use these type of computers, because that time it is new to the human. And once again, we have to understand what is machine language. Machine language is a binary language. It consists either 0 or 1. Whatever we give as a signal, as an input, it will convert it into 0 or 1 or signals. So in machine language, computer works in machine language. Computer can understand only machine language. Computer cannot understand our language. Students, you have to focus here also. The first programmable general purpose electronic digital computer was ENIAC, electronic numerical integrator and computer. So it was built during World War II by United States. The project was led by John Mauchi and Presper Eckert Jr. Okay, so there are some disadvantages of the first generation computer. The computers were very large in size, very huge in size. They were not portable because they are very larger in size. They heated up quickly, and to thousands of vacuum tubes in them, because we are using vacuum tubes, thousands of vacuum tubes. They had very slow speed. They used only machine language. They used magnetic drums provided, which provide less data storage. So there are lots of disadvantage of first generation computer. Then after, scientists developed different types of machines, and because of that, one of the best thing here, it is written there, you should know, in 1956 the Nobel Prize in Physics was awarded jointly with to William Broad Shockley and John Verdine and Walter House Burton for their researches on semiconductor and their discovery on transistor effect. So we will learn about these generations, second generation, in next video. Thank you to all.